A civil engineer named Martin Jasek was able to talk to 32 different people who had observed this huge object. The civil engineer was able to triangulate. The back end was over the mountain, the front end was over the lake, and you take enough people, someplace between half and 1 mile long. This was a humongous object.
Mm-hmm.
There's another case, a Japan Airlines flight. A big 747 coming from Iceland to Fairbanks and then to Japan. Twice the size of an aircraft carrier, something circled around this object. They reported to the ground radar, who saw them on the radar, and the object circling around them, which is kind of a neat trick.
Okay.
They had to get permission to change their path, and they flew in a circle, and this thing stayed right with them.
Mm-hmm.
It was, again, huge, twice the size of an aircraft carrier. It's almost half a mile long.
Mm-hmm.
So, think in terms of motherships. I mean, I have people say to me, how come some advanced technology from out there comes all the way here and crashes? And I'm saying, it's not the interstellar craft that crashes. There have been several good crashes. If any crashes, good. But at least they tell us something about the saucers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the huge motherships. They're the small, less than 100 feet in diameter object. Aztec, New Mexico was one 6 months or so, well, 9 months after Roswell. And it was an object that was picked up, carried to Los Alamos. Some exciting new research has been done by chief investigators, Scott and Suzanne Ramsey. She had lived out there, so they could go out to Aztec, New Mexico, and do a lot of research, talk to a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't have talked about them, but because they're familiar with the area, locals, and so forth. So there also seemed to be more than one group. Just as after Columbus came to the New World, and you got the Dutch and the French and the Portuguese and the Brits and all kinds of people. There seemed to be a lot of different groups coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there may be, in one of my books I have 20 reasons for coming to planet Earth. Why do people do all kinds of things? Why do people go through O'Hare Airport? It's not just one reason. A lot of different reasons. And so, maybe they're grad students doing their research on the development of a primitive society. We certainly qualify on those grounds. They may be stealing our goodies. Gold is worth mining if there's a gram of gold per ton of ore. And the Earth is the densest planet of the solar system, more pounds per cubic meter than any of the other planets in our solar system. You say, who cares? Well, that means there are more heavy metals, and heavy metals tend to be rather exotic. Gold, uranium, platinum, iridium, rhenium, osmium. You think lead is heavy? Osmium's twice as heavy, twice as dense as lead. So maybe they're stealing goodies here.
Yeah, well, that leads us to my next question, the Anunnaki. What's your take on them?
I don't have a take on them.
Okay.
That gets into areas that I don't really get into. I've met Zachariah Sitchin, who talks about visitors, and maybe having us do the gold mining for them. There's some recent finds in Africa. Guy's got a book out about civilizations they didn't know existed there before, big circular structures and stuff, from thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago. So it might well be that this was a mining colony. Look how many people went west for the gold in the Klondike or in California or in Australia. What did they go for? Find gold. You know, not to have fun and games, not for a vacation. They do that now.